But I want to get things started with men's soccer. A little bit more of a somber note, a little bit more of a shame, we'll say. A little bit more of a, oh, man, kind of deal. So men's soccer, they completed their 2023 season with a loss in the finals to the Green Bay Phoenix. It's an unfortunate ending to what was a fantastic season, and there were plenty of Horizon League honors to go around, and we'll talk about them in a little bit. I was at the game. Unfortunately, I couldn't have the call for you guys, but I did write a article about it, a post-game recap on WXOU.org. Look under the sports tab, and you're going to find it. And it was an exciting game to watch. You could tell it was the finals. You can tell that everything was on the line for this game for both the teams. And they were playing with that energy, and they were playing with that fury, a little more pep in the step, a little bit more chippy. But there was a point in the game where the offense just kind of got away from Oakland, and Green Bay was bringing all of the pressure. And that pressure, at least in the first half, the first about 20 minutes of nonstop, constant push into Oakland's defending third, and it ended up resulting in a goal for Green Bay, and that gave them the 1-0 lead, and that they would take that one into the end of the game, ending the Golden Grizzlies season on the Oakland soccer field, and hoisted the Horizon League Championship trophy and punched their ticket into the NCAA tournament. Man, it was a bummer. The last seconds of the game were ticking. Oakland had chances and corner kicks and free kicks and opportunities to go up. And they were playing. I mean, obviously, you got to play for all the marbles. You're going to play aggressive when you're down 1-0 at home in the championship game. And they had so many opportunities, and they just couldn't get the last touch on it. They couldn't put it together, and it ended in sorrow for the Golden Grizzlies. The last seconds were ticking away. The last shot was taken by Oakland, and everyone on the team just kind of collapsed. They fell to their knees. They fell to the floor. They couldn't believe what just happened, and it was a tough scene from an Oakland fan. But I will say, otherwise, the atmosphere was a championship game level atmosphere. Green Bay, the Wisconsin fans, they travel well for their Horizon League teams. Milwaukee's always there, especially for the women's soccer because they're one of the best in the country. But, Milwaukee, they travel. Green Bay, this time they traveled. They had somebody there. I don't know whose father or whose cousin it was, but they had a drum that they had strapped to their chest and were beating side to side the entire game long. It was kind of sweet, and they actually got a picture of Green Bay's team. Whoever knew the person gave them the drum, so that was featured in the team photo with the trophy. So it was a cool scene, but ultimately a shame that the Golden Grizzlies could not cap off and win 2 in 3 years. But some of those Horizon League honors that I wanted to mention, and I gave you a little preview of. So head coach Eric Pogue was named co-coach of the year, shared the honors with Green Bay's coach. So the number 1 and number 2 seeded teams, they get the coach of they received the coach of the year. Mikey Ketterman, he was named to the offensive player of the year. And Oakland had 3 teams named to all-league first team, that being Jace Foster, that being Owen Smith, and obviously the offensive player of the year, Mikey Ketterman. The second team consisted of Ville Ahola and Donovan Phillip, and the all-freshman team consisted of Noah Roca, Carson Bella, and Donovan Phillip as well. So it was not the best ending to the men's soccer season. We followed it a little bit here on WXOU. We tried our best to call and learn soccer and do our best to broadcast those games. But overall, Oakland is a very formidable team. They made it and hosted the finals. They're one of the top teams in the league. So with that and with all the honors and with a great season behind them, I'm going to give them a nice, big, well done, one that is deserved. So moving on now to Esports. We talked about some of the action with the Esports, that both the Overwatch 2 team and the Smash Brothers team made it to top 16 in the NACE. The NACE is, we could consider it the NCAA of college esports. It's the more established league. It's the one that most of the colleges compete and participate in. So we'll consider that the NCAA. So both the Smash Brothers team and the Overwatch team, they made it to the top 16 in the nation. That's big deals. That's big. That's worthy of cheering. And so last week I told you that they made it to top 16, but this week I'm telling you that they made it to top 8. they continue. They're still going. They're still fighting to get that NACE championship for Oakland in Overwatch and in Esports, and in Smash Brothers. All of them are Esports, but in Overwatch 2 and Smash Brothers. So Overwatch, they came in as the 10th seed, and they faced Shenandoah, who was the number 7 seed. And in one of only 2 upsets throughout the top 16 round, Oakland was able to upset Shenandoah with a pretty dominant 3-1 victory.
Well done!
And they are, like I mentioned, only one of 2 teams to ever complete the upset. So they now continue throughout the NACE tournament, and we'll give you updates next week as to how they do, in the top 8 round. Super Smash Brothers, they came in as the 4th seed, and they also played Shenandoah, but their Smash Brothers team was the 13th seed. And Oakland, they did drop the first game in the best of 3 set. And, after dropping one, you got to win 2 in a row to continue, and that's exactly what Oakland did. In Game 3, when Oakland and Shenandoah were tied up, and this is the tournament, this is elimination, this is huge, Oakland fought it all the way to the last stock. It was 1 stock to 1 stock, and Oakland avoided being upset by Shenandoah and got the victory for themselves to continue into top 8.
Well done!
I love this soundboard. I just love this thing. So congratulations, and the job's not finished yet. Work's not done. They're not finished. So be sure to keep up to date with them at Oakland Esports on Twitter and twitch.tv/Oakland Esports. Or I can't remember if I said it right, but at Oakland Esports on Twitter for most of their updates. That's the best place to get to know them. And they also have a couple articles detailing their trip to the NACE Top 16 on GoldenGrizzlies.com. So be sure to read up on that and get to know your esports team, baby. Moving on now to Swim and Dive. Swim and Dive, they played... I said play. I keep saying it. They faced Grand Valley State University this past Friday, the 10th. And Oakland, neither the men's nor the women's team came out with a victory, losing to the Lakers. The Lakers got a really good team, though. And I'm reading from GoldenGrizzlies.com. They got the summary of the GVSU meet, and it said, despite the loss, the Golden Grizzlies put up an incredible battle against the Lakers all night, totaling 15 first-place finishes. In the pool is the completion of the quote.
Well done!
Some highlights for you. We got, I'm going to try my hardest with this name, but Clarissa Bezudenout. We'll assume that that's correct. Got first place in the 100-yard backstroke, and for the men's, Harry Nicholson got first place in backstroke. Harry Nicholson also got first place in the 200 backstroke. In the 100-yard freestyle, in Heat 1, Reagan Reitz got first place. And for the men in Heat 1, Joey Countryman got first place. I'm just giving you some of the highlights, some of the dual first place finishes for the men's and the women's. And for the women in diving, Ellie Shalafo's doing it again. First place in both the 3-meter and the 1-meter diving. And that awarded her, along with Harry Nicholson, as Horizon League Swimmers of the Week.
Well done!
Yep. They got those honors for their performance against the Lakers, and currently they are swimming, or the women's team are swimming against the Eastern Michigan Eagles. That meet started a couple hours ago, so I'm assuming it's still going, and we'll give you the updates and we'll give you the results of the Golden Grizzlies and the Eagles in the pool. We'll give you that next week when all the results come in. And now, moving on, we got basketball to talk about. The Blacktop is alive once again. We're back in season. The men, they christened the Blacktop this year with a victory over Bowling Green. And celebrating Campy's 40th season, obviously, is a big deal. They made a big celebration about it. They had teammates and alumni and coaches all have wonderful videos and messages to say for their dusty old fellow head coach. So, everyone had nothing but praises to say. We saw Mike Malone of the Denver Nuggets, who coached under Campy for a year at Oakland back in the day. He had some words to say. Jim Boeheim, the former longest tenured NCAA men's basketball coach, he had some words for Campy. Tom Izzo obviously had things to say as their friendship goes way back. And it was a great game. Let's get to some of the basketball now. I was there on the sideline for WXOU. I had play-by-play. Justin Shepard, he had color. He did a great job. For a debut broadcast, he was awesome. I'm going to give little Mr. Shepard a...
Well done!
That was a great broadcast. I felt great about it. The game was a lot of fun, too. Oakland beat the Bowling Green Falcons with a final score of 81-62. That meant Buddy's Pizza for those in the crowd, and I'll talk a little bit about how that came to be. But in the game that we saw, in the game that you heard here on WXOU, it was intense. It was a game where everybody just had ants in their pants, and they had the energy, they had the physicality, and they were just going at it all game long. It was an incredible one to watch. Almost hard to keep up with at times. And Oakland, they started the game off up 7-0. That's how it started. And that's just about how it finished. Oakland got up to a 21-point lead at one point, finished it with a 17-point lead over the Falcons. And it looked, if you didn't look at the scoreboard, it was a tightly contested game. Bowling Green had a little bit of an advantage in size as their new transfer from Southern Utah, Jason Spurgeon, is 7 feet tall. The big man from Australia, his brother's on the team too. He didn't get much playing time though, but Jason, he had 17 points. He had 10 rebounds. Ended up fouling out at the end of the game with 7 of 12 from the field. And I don't usually give the other team's box score very often here on the GioMoShow, but he was giving it to him. 7-foot presence is going to do that against Oakland, even though they have improved their height. They have gotten taller. They have gotten older, a little bit stronger too. But they were able to battle against it. Shared between Andre Polk had some time against them. Baru had time against them. Chris Conway. They all did a very good job overall containing him as well as Rashawn Agee. Or a G. I don't know if it's a soft or hard G with both Spurgeon and Agee. But either way, it was an exciting game. Oakland's three-point defense proved to stay hot as they held the Falcons to 25% from three, as well as they held Ohio State and Illinois to also under 30% from the three. And that's what the zone is designed to do. That's what Campy was telling us. It's designed to take away the three. It's done it so far against Big Ten teams and against MAC teams. So getting down into the Oakland stats, Trey Townsend, he led the scoring with 20 points on 8 of 16 from the field and 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds and 4 assists. Trey Townsend was leading the Golden Grizzlies in assists, and they kind of asked him about it, or we kind of asked him about it at the post-game press conference, and it kind of comes with Blake being out a little bit. That comes with transitioning out of the Jalen Moore era. So you go watch the post-game press conference on GoldenGrizzlies.com. It'll get you your answer. But yeah, he was distributing the ball pretty well, and there were times where he wants to go score, but he sees the outlet pass, and he has got teammates that get hot and that are able to take advantage of it and give him those assists. Looking down at the score sheet, Jack Golke was second on the team in scoring. He had 14. He was 3 of 12 from the three and made all 5 of his free throws. He also had a team-leading 7 rebounds, which you wouldn't quite expect from, the 6'3" shooting guard. But he grabbed 7 boards. He was getting after it. And Rocket Watts, he had a game of his own. He had 10 points. He was 3 of 6 from the field. He was 4 of 6 from the line. In previous 2 games, struggling a little bit. Now he's picked it up, and we heard Isaiah Jones in the post-game interview echo that as well. He had a rough start. Everyone was hating on him, but now he showed what he could do and improved. That's roughly what Jones was saying. And then DQ Cole, he had 12 points in the game. He was 4 of 5 from the field and made all 4 of his three-point shots. Woof, I'm going to give that a well done.
Well done!
It was perfect from beyond the arc, and only missed one other field goal in the game. He had a rebound, and he had 3 steals as well. Oakland had 14 steals this game. You believe that? That was awesome.
Well done!
Come on now. You get 14 steals in the game. You're picking at it, and that zone is working. Anyway, I've rambled on this one for too long now, but it was a great game. It was 81-62, Golden Grizzlies, And, I mentioned that I would talk about how we got to 80 points. So, at the end of the game, the story was told already. Oakland was going to win it. We were going to get an interview with Isaiah Jones. And it came down to where Oakland, they emptied the benches. They had Evan Solomon. They had Michael Rogers. They had Andre Polk. They threw the guys in there to finish out and get them some few minutes. And Michael Rogers, he had a couple steals. And, Oakland was at 78, 79 points. And everybody knew that 80 points and a win in the arena would give buddies pizza coupons. And everybody was electric. Everybody was really feeling it. And especially when Rogers, he got the ball. He stole it and was sprinting across. He was carrying Falcons with him. He had the ball in one hand dribbling. He was stiff-arming with the other. Did not get the basket, though, but he was fouled. So that gave him 2 free throws. He, at, I believe, 79 points. Missed the first one. But he's got a second chance. The crowd's getting loud. He's going for a second. Misses that one, too. So we're stuck at 79 points, and we're all worried that they ain't going to get 80. And they ain't going to get that pizza. But a similar situation happened again. Michael Rogers, he sticks his hand in, he's got the ball. He's going again. Same thing. Doesn't make the basket, but gets fouled. He is blessed with another chance to get at least one free throw to get this team over 80. Missed the first one. Or excuse me, no, that's wrong. He made both of them to get us to that 81 points. Everyone was cheering. All the electricity in the building was awesome. And I asked Campy about that. That was my only question of the post-game press conference. I asked him about, what was going through your head? What were you feeling when Rogers was taking those free throws? Just kind of, light, fun question. And he said that he didn't know that it was 80. He said that it used to be 85, and I guess they bumped it down to 80. And he said he looked over at Coach Smitty, and he said, "Is Buddy's 80?" So he kind of let him kept going, and they didn't ask them to run out the clock. They let them get the 80 points for the crowd, and he kind of explained that to Todd Simon of Bowling Green, the head coach, and no hard feelings. Hey, go get it. It's fun. Don't worry about it. And everyone got their pizza, except I didn't grab a coupon.
You blew it!
Oops, the wrong sound effect.
Baby!
That was supposed to be just...
You blew it!
I know, I didn't get a coupon, but whatever. We'll get another one. But yeah, that was a fun game. And it's a good start to the season, and I'm real excited about it. Anyway, I rambled on for that one for too long. Women's basketball, they traveled to Ann Arbor this past Tuesday to finish out a couple of games in the Big Ten. Let me make sure that I forget when they played Michigan State. Yes, they played Michigan State last Wednesday and then followed that up with a Tuesday trip to Ann Arbor. It's a tough go. They had a tough go of it. Lost to Michigan State, lost to U of M, but they come home tomorrow. 7 o'clock, I told you all about it. They play Cleary University to christen the Blacktop with their own success and their own win. So be sure to tune in on WXOU at 7 o'clock for that game. Or if you're around campus, just go to the game. We're here for if you're not at the game. But if you can't get at the game, what better way to experience the game than with your own eyes and with your own ears, huh? How about it? So, 7 o'clock, they play Cleary University. And it is 8 staff night, according to GoldenGrizzlies.com. And now we're going to wrap it up. We got the last big segment, the last big news in Oakland NCAA sports. We got to talk about the volleyball team. The regular season is wrapped up. Oakland has firmly planted themselves in the 5th seed and will be continuing to battle and to fight in the Horizon League tournament. So, what are they going to be looking at? How do they get to this tournament? Well, the last weekend was a trip to Wisconsin. They played both Green Bay and then they played Milwaukee last Friday and Saturday. And those were... So Oakland was at the 3rd seed at the time. They had the game against IUPUI the previous Tuesday. They kind of bumped up against the rest of the teams that didn't play that day. And they were in 3rd place going into that weekend. And with an opportunity to either stay at 3 or advance to 2nd seed by, with winning those 2 games, it didn't quite happen. Oakland had a tough go of it in Wisconsin. They lost to Green Bay 1-3. and then to Milwaukee, 0-3. That dropped them down to the 5th seed, but top 6 gets into the tournament, so Oakland was not knocked out. They were just knocked down. So that places them in the tournament as the 5th seed with an 11-7 conference record. They, tomorrow at 6 o'clock, will be facing Northern Kentucky against the 5 against the 4th seed in the Nutter Center. That's Wright State's stadium, the Nutter Center.
What?
Yeah, that's what it's called. I know. It's funny. But what happened last time these two teams faced, so Northern Kentucky, at the time, we called this game on WXOU. That's why I remember it so well. So at the time, it was Oakland was I believe, the 3rd seed, and Northern Kentucky was the 2nd seed. And Oakland, they just got done playing against Purdue Fort Wayne all the way up to set 5. That was on a Tuesday. And then on a Friday, they play against Northern Kentucky. They also played it to 5. But it wasn't the same 5 that they did against Purdue Fort Wayne. They pulled off the reverse sweep on the Norse.
Well done!
They were down 0-2, and they won every single one along the way up. The execution just kind of tightened up, and what they were doing was working, and it got them the win. That bumped them up to, I believe, the 2nd seed at the time. So Oakland has experience not only playing against this team, but playing 5 sets against this team. So I got my hopes up for women's volleyball at the Nutter Center.
What?
The Nutter Center, yes, that's what it's called. Wish them good luck. And winner of that will face either number 1 seed Wright State or number 2 seed Green Bay. So we'll see what happens in the semifinals. If they win tomorrow, they play on Saturday, and then the championship will be that Sunday. So it's volleyball championship weekend, everybody. So be sure to stay tuned and keep up to date and cheer on your Golden Grizzlies any way you can from afar. And that wraps up the Oakland sports update. Not quite, actually. I'm just going through my notes. There's Horizon League honors to talk about for women's volleyball. So the all-academic team was released. Emily Wickman, Patty Cesarini, they made it to the all-academic team.
Well done!
Kennedy Dolmage listed in the honorable mentions, just to be technically correct here. But we got 3 all-academic players on our volleyball team.
Well done!
And we have some career milestones. We have Sarah Turner. She came in pretty quick after the season started. She passed 1,000 digs in her career. Well, now, after this weekend, she surpassed 2,000 assists. So, whoops, hold on. That was the wrong button. I'm going to give that another well done.
Well done!
That's over 1,000 digs. That's over 2,000 assists for Sarah Turner. So congratulations. And some of the bigger news. Oakland University has a new school record for total digs in a single season. Emily Wickman completed and broke the record with 638 digs on the season. I love that soundbite. I want to use that so bad. So congratulations to Emily Wickman. And not only did she break the record, but she got first team All-Horizon League. Patty Cesarini was second team All-Horizon League. Gentry Brown was All-League freshman team. So to the volleyball team, a good luck and a
well done
in the regular season. So we'll see what goes down in the Nutter Center. And now that's going to wrap up the Oakland sports segment here. We ran really long here. So we're at the halfway mark here. And I got to tell you about Friday Night Grooves. Fridays at 8 p.m. Listen to Friday Night Groove right here on WXOU. Hosted by DJ RBJ since 2011, Friday Night Groove is your home for some of the best soul, jazz, electronic, indie, and alternative music here at the station. He has interviews with local artists and has one of the best radio voices in the game. You can go to FridayNightGroove.com for more information, and you can follow at Trill Gunderson. That's at TRIL Gunderson. You can follow that on Instagram for the latest on the show. And tune in to Friday Night Grooves, Fridays at 8 p.m. on WXOU. We're going to throw it to a break, and when we come back, we're going to give you a quick blitz through the club sports happening at Oakland University, and we're going to bring you that football therapy that you need, as well as the picks and Not sure we'll have enough time to sneak peek the Bobby Naubert interview, so you're just going to have to keep up to date and stay tuned to see when that releases on YouTube on WXOU Sports. So we'll be right back with the rest of the JOMO Show.